So this happened about 2 years ago. My dad, some family friends, and I decided to go on a trip for New Year's. They rented a house on a mountain where there was a little town. I shared a room with two other girls my age. Our room was on the second floor. We only had two beds, so one of us slept on the ground. When the night came, we all got ready for bed. There were about 3 more days until New Year's Eve. That night, the girl that slept on the ground, I'll call her Kate, said that she kept hearing knocking from outside on the balcony. We just assumed it was the wind or something, and we continued our day. Something odd about our bathroom was that it made a lot of noise for no reason. That might be because the house was pretty old. We made jokes about our room being possessed and crap like that, but we really didn't believe it though. The next night, we were sitting on the bed watching a Disney movie with a little girl that came there with her parents. She was about 4 years old. At some point, she got really scared out of nowhere and didn't want to come into our room. This time, at about 1 a.m., I heard a big knock on the window. I looked at Kate and the other girl in the room. Let's call her Emma. I said, "Did you hear that?" They both said they did. At that point, we were pretty scared, so we turned on the TV and tried to get back to sleep. The next night, we didn't hear any knocks, but we did hear steps in the halls. Again, we turned on the TV and stayed up a little longer. New Year's night came. We had fun, and at midnight, after the fireworks, Kate and I went into our room to wash our hands. She was video chatting with one of her friends in the bathroom. I heard knocks on the window. We were on the second floor. I freaked out and called her in. She came and we heard the knocking too. But the moment she stepped into the bathroom with her phone, the phone suddenly shut down. She had 50% battery. We ran out of the room. At that point, we told the adults. They came in and made fun of us for being so scared. That night, everyone went into their rooms at 4 a.m. and according to them, they fell asleep right away. We weren't so lucky. We were still freaked out from the previous nights, so we decided we wouldn't go to sleep. That night, we had the whole package. We heard the knocking, the steps in the halls, and at some point, knocking on the ceiling. The next day, we left, and I asked my dad if there was anyone that died in there. Apparently, the owner's wife used to live there. After her death, the man rented the house to tourists like us. Now, I'm not 100% sure the woman before haunted the house, and if she did, why did she pick our room? But it sure was spooky. When I was 12, I spent New Year's Eve at my friend's kinda creepy house. People said it was haunted, and it was even in some ghost book. Our parents were out for dinner, leaving us alone in this cold, spooky place. We were in the living room when a loud crash from upstairs freaked us out. After some nerves, we decided to check it out. Going up the creaky stairs, it felt like a horror movie. There was this chilling breeze, and the suspense was building up. We reached his parents' room, and the door was swinging open weirdly. Inside, we found a broken antique mirror, pieces all over. My friend claimed some woman in the room told him she broke it. We freaked out and called our parents, but when they got back, they just thought we were playing some messed up game. Years later, talking to my mom about that night, she surprisingly believed our story. Turns out, my friend's mom saw a woman in her room a few days after that spooky night, telling her to get out. Even though it's almost been 12 years, just remembering it still gives me the creeps. It was New Year's Eve in 2015. My friends and I were at a party and decided to leave around 10:30 p.m. We walked around the streets and decided to play Ding Dong Ditch. After a few houses, we arrived at one where the lights were on, and a few men in the house were having drinks, aged roughly between 18 and 24. At that time, we were only 15 or 16 years old. We knocked and ran up the street. 2 minutes later, we looked behind us to see one of them chasing us with a bat. While the others hopped in the car, we sprinted. I had never been so scared in my life. We ran into a large yard with trucks and boats hiding behind them. They shouted threatening things, saying if they found us, they would harm us. The car with the men pulled up in front of the house where we were hiding because the people who followed us blocked one side of the road and the car blocked the top of the street. They knew we were in that street. Just as they started to go down the hill a bit, we bolted up the street and ran away. I got back to the party safely, but that was one of the scariest moments in my life. It still scares me to think about what would have happened if I had been caught.